All right, guys, today we're going to take a look at this guy. This is the Stealth Biometric SwiftVault version 2. And I'll tell you right up front, this is probably one of the nicest handgun safes I think I've seen, particularly since it's priced at only $135. I'm not going to give any links in the description because you can't buy it from the distributor, and it's available from a lot of different dealers on Amazon and eBay. And you just type in the word SwiftVault 2.0 and you get hundreds of hits. So available, widely available, all about the same price, as I said, about $135. Why do I think this is such a nice safe? Well, first of all, heavy. This thing empty weighs about 10 pounds, so really solid chunk of steel. There's a lot of other innovations on this guy too, but first let's take a look at the locking mechanism. The first thing that jumps to your eye would be the keypad. We have a total of 4 buttons and they're not numbered, but let's call that 1 and let's call that 4 just for the sake of argument. Everything's black. Now remember, the time you'd want to access this is in, during the hours of darkness, obviously. So how would you know when you're on the right keypad to find your combination? Again, a little attention to detail, but this button here has a little dimple on it to help you very quickly locate the right button to punch in the combination. It's a 6-digit combination. It's reprogrammable, of course, to anything that you want. And the nice thing about it is you can reuse the numbers as many times as you want. So if you want your 6-digit combination to be all 3s, for example, you could, of course, do that. You get 4 attempts, and if you fail on the 4th attempt to get in, which would be indicated here with a red light. So if I were to punch in, say, just random numbers, it'll give me a red light indicating a failure. I get 4 of those, and then it locks itself out for 5 minutes. So my combination pops open. Very cool. You notice the moment I touched that last button, it literally came open almost instantly. Another thing you probably notice is a beeping tone. I deliberately left that on so you'd be able to hear it. There's a button on the back, I'll show you in just a moment, that you push the button and you can disable that to put the entire safe in what's called the stealth mode. In the stealth mode, the only thing you would hear on opening would be that hydraulic shock controlling the lift of the door to get it open. A lot of other really nice features on this. Let's take a look. Let's get this junk out of the way here, first of all, so we don't break anything. I don't get shot in the hip again. All right, what do we got? First of all, as I mentioned, 10 pounds. This thing weighs 10 pounds. 14 gauge steel. It's got a nice enameled crinkle finish everywhere that I could find on it. On the back here, this might, at least it jumped to my eye, how thick this hinge was. And in fact, on the outside of the safe, when I took a look at it, my first idea was, well, I'm just going to take out that pin. I'm going to unscrew it. And I couldn't get it to turn. And then as soon as I opened it, I saw how incredibly thick this hinge pin was. So I'm going to show you what they've done here. It's pretty cool. Let me grab a screwdriver, pull this dude out of here. And what they've done is, out of a chunk of stainless steel, move that screw and just set them right there. And then you can kind of work this pin out of the side. And this is their hinge pin, a very thick piece of stainless steel. I don't know how many of you guys ever tried to drill stainless steel. Not an easy job, particularly something this thick. There's a machine groove in it, and that's what that screw fits in to prevent you from pulling that out of there. So really well thought out on the hinge. On the side of the door, there's a small lip. I think you can probably see it best right here. That recesses down inside of that wall. So when it's down, there's no way to get a wire or anything up inside of there to touch any of the valuables on the inside or to manipulate anything. There's absolutely nothing to manipulate. Let me remove the screwdriver, and I'm trying to show you here. Let me move this pad. And you can see several different things here. First of all, you see the access panel for the 9-volt battery, which does come with it. You see a little LED, which is off. When you open the safe, it stays open for about a minute, then goes off. So again, in the hours of darkness, when you open your safe, you can grab whatever you're grabbing by the right end, if you know what I mean. And then the last one is this rubber grommet. In order to get access to the reset button, you have to pull that dude off of there, and then recessed inside of there is the reset button. And it's also the reprogramming button for the fingerprint reader. So very cool, very protected. As I said, when this is closed, you can see that there's really remember there's a lip here. So even if you manage to get a wire, you'd have to go 90 degrees. So it'd be really difficult to get any shimming done. Same here, we have a lip bent around the edge that's recessed inside of the face. Again, really difficult, and there's nothing in there to manipulate because, first of all, it's really difficult to get the wire in because of that side shield. Flipping this around, let's take a look at some of the other features. We have a fingerprint lock. So we have a combination, and then we also have a fingerprint lock. It works pretty much the same. This is not the right finger, so when you place it on there, you get a red light telling you that that was a failure. I get 3 more tries. So if I take the correct finger, slide that dude on there, it takes a second to read it, but we do get an open. There's a little delay there, as I guess the computer does its thing. Anyway, it does work. Very nice. There's room in here. We have a padded bottom, so this is foam on the bottom, and the top of this might be a little difficult to see, but the top of it is covered with this rubberized material to prevent scratching on anything that you have stored inside of there. All right, the last locking mechanism. Well, first of all, these two are electronic, so they're going to require that 9-volt power, and the question always comes up, what happens when the battery dies? And I always ask the same question. No, it does not reset everything to factory. It retains both the fingerprints and the combination, even if the battery dies. The thing about this is it comes with a little transformer, so you can plug this into the wall, and you can actually power the box from this all the time when you've got it installed. Or this can be a backup for your battery. So if the battery dies, the light will, as it starts to die, the light will turn red. If you still fail to change out your battery and everything completely dies, all you've got to do is take this, plug it in the wall, and on the side of it, there's a power plug here. Only 2 openings on the entire box. This guy and that guy right there. So plug the power in, and it will temporarily power it while you punch in your combination, use your fingerprint or whatever if you lost your key, which we'll talk about in a moment. And this last one, believe it or not, that hole is a security feature as well, because included with this is a 1/4-inch steel cable that you can wrap around something heavy. If maybe you want to put this in, underneath the seat of your car, for example, you can wrap this around the slide rail. And again, hardened stainless steel. There's a bolt that goes through the hole. You put the nut on there, and then a nice little feature to prevent somebody from unscrewing it. You insert a little cotter key inside of that hole so nobody can extract that. So very well thought out. A lot of really well thought out stuff on this guy. All right, this last thing, the last locking mechanism right here. And I saved it for last because, believe it or not, this is the best. Normally, these are the weaknesses. This is how we very quickly get into these very complex electronic locks, but not so on this one. Somebody's been paying attention. It might appear to be a wafer lock, but in fact, if you look in there pretty closely, you can see some sliders. The total of 8 sliders, and this is one of the newer designs. I've been trying to beat this guy. Let me show you what the key looks like. There's your key. So in order to get this to work, obviously a key, rotate it 1/8 of a turn, and pops it right open. The nice thing about this lock is that when you tension it, and I tried tensioning both from the top and the bottom, this is the newer design and the sliders don't bind. So in order to get it to work, before you begin to turn, the sliders all have to be in the correct position, and then when you turn it, there's a sidebar that will slide in the correct place and you'll get an open. So no tensioning on the sidebars makes it really a matter of 100% luck to get all 8 sliders aligned perfectly before you are able to get an unlock. So really well thought out. I'm very happy to see a high quality lock put onto a box like this. I want to keep those little curious hands away from my guns as well. All right, last thing. Again, another well thought out thing. You get some mounting bolts. You can put it into drywall or whatever as a temporary measure just to keep it accessible. But they've gone a little further than that. Here's one of the mounting screws, and obviously you put all the 4 screws in, and then you slide it, and it slides up into that groove to retain it. Now, pull it out of here. On the front here, you'll notice there's a screw that's only accessible from inside of the box. So what we would do is we would put the 4 mounting screws in the wall, remove those 2 screws, slide the heads of the bolt up in there, and then again from the inside of the box put those 2 screws back in to prevent a thief from sliding this off of the mounting screws. So again, those guys were really using their head when they came up with the design on how to prevent somebody from getting this and ripping it, sliding it off the wall and walking away with our box. You know, it's not Fort Knox, but as a temporary delay mechanism to keep somebody or children perhaps away from a loaded handgun or other valuables or medications, this is absolutely the best box I've seen, particularly priced at only, around 135 bucks. Anyway, guys, if you'd like to know how to win this, this will be the free giveaway this week. Stick around and I'll tell you how to do it. I've got to say, of all the items, I hate to give this one away, but of course I am. Of all the items in our review, I buy very few of them for myself, but this is one I think I'm definitely going to be buying a couple of to keep in my own home. Appreciate your time, guys. Stay safe. Stay legal. All you need to do is navigate to locklab.com, the tribal website, and scroll down in the middle of the page. You'll see all the giveaway buttons, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. But the one you're looking for is the weekend review giveaway, purple band. Just click on it. It'll take you to the registration page. Again, scroll to the bottom, put in a good email address, so if you win, I can get in touch with you, let you know. Put in a username, doesn't matter what it is, and click Submit. When you're done, you'll get a green check mark confirming your entry. Thanks, guys.